Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. I'm George Conley with Scratch Golf Tips, and today we're going to be talking about a specific chip that we can use around the greens to lower our scores. It's not using a putter to putt off the green, and it's not using a wedge to chip off the green. We're actually going to be talking about the instances where you would use a 3-wood. Now, when you think of clubs to chip with, you rarely think of a 3-wood, but if you look at the qualities of the 3-wood, it's not crazily dissimilar to a putter. And there are some instances where a putter is ideal, except for one small thing that gets in the way. So we're going to talk about a few different instances why you would decide to use a 3-wood to get your ball up and down from off the green. Now, the first instance we're going to be talking about is if you are up against the collar of the fairway and rough, or even the collar of the first cut and rough. Now, you can see an image on your screen right now of what the collar is. If you're up against that, you can't really putt the ball because you're going to have to come in at a very dissenting downward angle, and a putter isn't obviously meant to go through thick grass. And sometimes a wedge shot will get too much grass between the grooves of that wedge club face and the ball, which will lead to a not spinny, tough to control chip shot. But a 3-wood has a thicker head, it can glide through that rough much more effectively, and just using a putting stroke but adding a 3-wood instead of a putter to that stroke can be really beneficial when you're up against the collar. Another great instance that we can use a 3-wood off the green is if you're just a few yards off the green and you're in the fairway, but the fairway grass ahead of you is either sticky, it's got some dew on it, it's wet, it's going to be hard to get the ball through, or there are some bumps and undulations in the grass before you get to the green, that fairway grass, that you can't really navigate with a putter, but a wedge shot just doesn't make any sense here. So that's why you're going to go with a 3-wood, and once again, you're going to be using that putting stroke. The reason we're going to use a 3-wood is because obviously to get the ball in the air, a 3-wood has a little bit of loft on it. It only has a few degrees of loft, but it's got enough loft so that if you give the ball a normal putting stroke and you keep it flush at address, coming through the ball, that ball is going to get up off the ground a little bit in just the first few feet. So it's going to go up, it's going to hop around a little bit, and then once it settles into its roll, it's going to roll out cleanly just like a putt. But what that allows you to do is just go over a few feet of tough green and tough grass before you get onto the green. Now, obviously, this isn't something a lot of people are aware of or comfortable with, so whenever there is a new golf shot that you want to try out, never try anything new directly on the course. Just go to a chipping green, put yourself against the collar a few times, put yourself a few yards off the green, and just use this club in hand and try and get a good feel for it. One thing that I will say is, this is obviously much longer than a putter is. You don't want to be gripping all the way down on the grip like you would a normal shot. Try gripping up and having the shaft more vertical at address, which will allow you to have the feel of a putter, just the head of the 3-wood, the loft of the 3-wood is what's really important here. So give the old 3-wood a try around the greens in one of the situations that I just named, and tell me in the comments below, do you use your 3-wood around the greens? And if you do, how much does it help you lower your scores and get up and down more? I'd be curious to hear. Also, if you have any questions about things that I mentioned or failed to mention throughout the video, you can also leave those in the comments down below, and I'll be replying to all of them. If you like the apparel that I wear in these videos, I wear John Morgan Sportswear. They are a proud partner of Scratch Golf Tips, and you can use the code SGT2021 to get 20% off everything in their store. And if you have an order over $100, you will get free shipping. The link to John Morgan Sportswear is in the description down below. Thank you all so much for watching. Play well, and take care.